Well, for one thing, the perception is if you have a mental disorder that you're weak, that you just can't control your emotions. It's disgraceful. And my dad was brought up that way. Control yourself. Don't get mad, Don't lose your temper. So divergent thinking can go well in some careers, like the arts. I met this guy that he was knuckled down into a career that he made $100,000 a year, and he had bipolar, and he couldn't tell them. He couldn't tell the people he worked with that made a good amount of money that he suffered with that. And so he was stressing out. He said, well, I mortgaged the house and I bought a boat. He goes, and my wife divorced me. Then there's Wally Hogue, which I don't think he will mind me sharing. He's a NAMI spokesman. I had met him at a NAMI meeting, and he stopped by my apartment, and we were having a talk, and Jim said he didn't like him. I don't like him. And he had been at RBHA. And I said, I like Wally, and Wally said that he was going, he said, I don't need my medicine. And I mean, that's not my theory. But apparently his medicines were giving him diabetes because of the weight gain. And he ended up going to jail. He got up on his roof and he pretended he was shooting his neighbor. So his neighbor took a restraint out on him. Not a very nice neighbor. And so Wally lost his house and he had to go to jail. Cray, these things we can't do this. So we have to go into public schools and make sure it's just, if I can understand it, anybody can understand it, And don't make it shameful, and make the hospitalizations, if they have to go in, a caring place, not condemning. Community was awful. They had put me on such a high dose of Seroquel, I passed out. And I thought I was dying. I didn't know. And the nurses just walked around me and they wouldn't help me stand up. And then we were in the cafeteria early. Come on. Why is it that psychiatric patients are not given the liberty to say, hey, I think I'm going to stay in my room for my breakfast? It's like punishment. So they pull you all in the cafeteria at 8 a.m., 7:30, 8 a.m. to have breakfast. And so they were doing a little talk, and our trays came, and we had to wait 20 minutes. So when they brought me my tray, I flipped it up and knocked it out of the person's hands. And, I was the bad one. So they put Thorazine in my butt and put me in isolation for the day. And if you had to experience that, Cray, you would see how somebody wouldn't want to go in. Plus, in the perception of many people, I feel fortunate to be an artist and have some people. BJ he owns an art gallery. I don't even know what I did, but I went in and he got mad at me. And then I went in again, which I try to avoid people being mad at me because I don't like that. And I'm sure people don't like it when I get mad at them, especially if it's something they don't even know what I'm mad about. But he was nice that time. He said, I didn't know you had bipolar. So he was able to process it and let me be me each time I go in. And we just kind of got to wait and see how the day's going. I think also something that really helped me is being able to talk to people, like my friend Georgia Myers. She's an enabler, and her mom's a psychiatric nurse. But a lot of people are like that with her. They can go and talk to her about the problems, and she doesn't judge them. So we do need a listening ear. My mom, she listened to me a lot when I was suffering. It's more than a warm line. You got to have a warm friend. So if you do have a mental illness, get that buddy that you can talk to, your support team. This is in your brain. So what you see may not be right or true, but you still need support and you need acceptance and love. And we can learn all that in schools, what to do when somebody's not feeling well and get them help right away. There's a story about a lady in the 1800s, and it's a true story. And this guy was like stalking her, not in a mean way, but he really was curious and loved her. And she's a beautiful lady with long hair. And so finally one day he's like, I can't take it anymore. And he went and he knocked on her door. And she opened her door, and she pulled open her shirt, and her breast was eaten away with cancer. That's what we get in our minds. I mean, back in those days, of course, they didn't have surgery or chemo. And she just couldn't be what he wanted her to. And I think you might see Nirvana, and they're famous. But let's get real. Let's get real and talk about it. I even think celebrities, they're beginning to put that out more and more, like Britney Spears. And it's kind of like, what is going on with her? Is she doing good? I hope she is. Mel Gibson. I mean, I think we have, Glenn Close and her sister. I think Meryl Streep would make a great movie actress to promote it. How does it affect children? How is it? It's hard for me to hear what I did to my kids. Like I had a wooden spoon, and I was separated from my ex-husband, and things were just really tough. We were losing our house. It was bankruptcy, and so I think I was overly stressed. And I had to go off the lithium because of my thyroid. So they were trying me on Depakote and stuff, and I was trying, but I was not myself and didn't think clearly. And my son had to sing. He was the lead singer, and he was going to sing and they sent a sheet home saying for him to wear blue jeans. Well, I don't know what happened at his dad's house. His dad lived 2 blocks from me in a different house, and he ran up to my house just crying and said, I said, well, you got to put your blue jeans on. They sent us a note from school. You got to do what the school said. Bad mom. I should have let him do what he wanted. That's bad. That's bad when a school does that. And it was really bad that I was trying to follow the doctrine of the school. I mean, he's going to be in front of the kids. Let him pick what he wants to wear. And but I couldn't think it through. And so I got my wooden spoon, and I was just going to show it to him and say, now you go put your pants on. Because my mom raised me that way. And so he ran up to his room, and I was running after him. And he tried to shut the door, and I pushed it open, and I smacked him on the leg with the wooden spoon on his thigh. And he fell back, and his right foot kicked me in my right eye. It hurt. He had given me a black eye. So God, that's the God thing. And so he gave me a black eye, and I gave him a quarter-sized bruise on his leg. But I have apologized and said I very much mishandled it. And I've told him, I said, if I went to court and Kent was there, he'd say, you need to take a parenting class. And that was, so I don't mind my kids talking about what they experienced. And we have lots of videos, and a lot of good stuff happened. But I think it's poignant to a child. I know my dad never got angry at me personally. He would break things and stuff like that. And it was scary growing up with a bipolar dad. And I think the point could be made, too, that everyone's a little bit bipolar. We all have good days and bad days. But the structure of our chemistry, for some reason, needs medicine to make functioning easier. I'm so proud of the whole system, though. We're just getting so much better and getting so many better medicines, and I'm hoping the Zuckerbergs decide to go ahead and invest in even more. I wish it was a blood test, like, oh, you're low in iron. And maybe one day it'll get that way. But shrouded in mystery and dark, deep, cankerous sores of relationships and people coming out of them going, she's crazy, he's crazy, with no understanding of a person's chemistry. But we could try. We can try chemistry. We can try to discuss stress. We can try to discuss relationships and what's healthy and what's not. And family planning needs to be discussed. And educating everybody about what's in it for you. So if you do this baby thing, what's in it for you? What are you going to get? I am working not just for myself, but I want to, at this day and age, as an artist and as a mom, part of my driving force is to help support my kids, make sure they get educated and have the best life and be the best people they can be for the world around them. I want them to bring something to the world, and education is part of that. And they're going to do it without me, because they had, even though they had me as a mom, bipolar, and an alcoholic father, the periphery of family has helped, and friends and neighbors, community, and all that plays in. And, you know, my doctor said more than money, they want a healthy mom. They want a mom they can talk to. And so, you know, I might go work at Costco. That my next plan is to stay at Kroger for a year and then maybe apply to Costco and get a better paycheck. I grit my teeth and I keep going. And I'm enlightened by some of my friends, by their artwork, whether it's music or dance. Or art inspires me. And even if it's just to be the matron of the family, to make it through my life and bring joy to my grandchildren and children's children, and I never have any money to do anything for anybody, I'm thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for the experience. And if I can take some of my experience as a grandma, as a mom, as an artist, as a friend, sometimes I have to draw boundaries. Like this Georgia thing, she's just going to do what she does, I know. But I feel like, I guess she knows that I'm stable enough that I can figure something out when she kicked me out when Day got so angry. But I actually looked at one of her paintings that I had loved, and I looked at it and I said, it's a little bit messy. We could call it mess art. She will hate that. But yeah, no, a reality TV. Look at all the characters that we could do and discuss, humorous, and talk about mental health issues. Just make it as popular and accepted as a heart attack. That's all I'm saying. It's as common. I'm sure it's as common as a heart attack. So let's just go ahead and tackle it. Jump over that 4-foot fence and make the world a better place all over the world. And we'll get medicines out to people and doctors. And if we can get the United States better in education, the whole world is going to be better till that tidal wave or that hurricane comes through your town and knocks over your trailer park. Right, Brad Paisley?